Hello Age of Wonderites, welcome to this next video where I talk about how to access the beta patches that the Triumph Studios released for Age of Wonders 3. Basically, they will be releasing patches before they think they are perfectly ready, during the stages where they're just hammering in numbers to make things balanced. And the point of this is so that the community who chooses to test out this patch can make sure everything's good and perfectly fine before it's released officially and updated inside Steam and Good Old Games. Do note that COG, or Good Old Games, does not get access to the beta patches. You have to play the game through Steam, and the way you access these is you right-click the game on Steam, go to Properties, then on the tabs at the top, go to Betas. Now the patch has just been released, so this video is a little bit late. But what you would do is you would select the wee drop-down list and choose the beta patch. Then you would click apply, in this case I'll just go close. Then what you have to do is you have to exit Steam and restart. Then Age of Wonders will start the update. You can go in here and go to downloads, check out the update, and then you can play the game when it's finished. So if anyone's ever interested in what the patch actually does, you go to the Age of Wonders 3 forums, go inside the Age of Wonders 3 discussions, this second option, and at least the first one, so I assume they're all going to be, the topic regarding the patch will be pinned at the top. So here we have version 1.08, the beta patch, test branch for Steam users. I'm not going to go through all of these changes, I'll go through just some of the critical ones. So let's see, there's a couple of fixes. Mainly, I've never heard of this one, but the fix for higher resolution computers has been finally brought in. So you've got the black and white boxes and the blurry text should now be gone, so that's fantastic for some people. Some of the performance issues are now gone. I had never noticed these in the beta, and I guess I kind of blame myself for not noticing these, because I should have. So your frame rate drops when you select an army, and also during some long tactical combats you also get a frame drop, so that kind of sucks too. But also when your Windows is locked and when you lock your screen and things, you get a memory leak. So really good that I didn't find that one. But from like 30 beta testers to 10,000, I think you're obviously going to find some extra issues. Let's see what else. There's a couple of AI improvements which is really good. For me, the two best ones are these two. The enemy will not rush out of the gates as often or as soon. So beforehand you had the enemy coming out on turn 1, and now they won't come out for a couple of turns, or assuming you've moved your units a bit closer to the walls. The way the enemy factors this in is if you have more ranged units than they do, then they're going to think they're going to shoot us apart before we can shoot them apart. So even with the walls as an advantage, if you've got much superior ranged forces, then they're going to come out and try to deal some damage. So this should happen not as often or not as soon in combat. Also, the AI won't be using disjunction as often, cancelling your spells and your buffs. That's going to be really good. It wasn't like this before patch. This was actually brought in on the day 1 release patch, so we never got a chance to test that ourselves. But yeah, hopefully that's going to be now. Well, you've all been playing the new patch, so you'll know how much better it is. Another great change for some of the new players at very least is the Squire AI is now easier. So now Squire, basically Knight is the old Squire, and Squire is just even easier. So Squire now doesn't cheat, neither does Knight, so you don't get any extra resources. Yeah, and then also Squire won't use all of its resources, whereas Knight will just do everything it has available. So use all its resources and all its cities, but won't gain anything extra. Let's see if there's anything extra. I won't go into these. Don't want to ruin anything. Don't want to say anything that's sort of been done already. Oh, okay. Some balance things could be interesting. So the Theocrat Shrine, it used to be Devout itself, which means just stacks of pure shrines would increase their attack dramatically. So dealing, upwards of 300 damage in a single attack. So yeah, now you can't just have these shrines anymore. Oh, the Shadow Stalker is now no longer a blight unit, it's now a cold unit, so it has all these extra benefits from frost and things, and pretty much no actual class units have any immunity to frost. So it's now going to be very viable. It's going to deal a lot of damage. It's going to be something to look out for now. And let's see. Oh, there was a very nasty bug where laboratories and observatories and libraries, yes, would generate the extra knowledge that a sorcerer was supposed to get. So that was like the kind of, I mentioned it on the Steam forums. You know, there's an exploit you can find in game. I didn't want to ruin it for anyone for finding it themselves, but yeah, in case then you tell everybody, and only people on Steam would know in multiplayer games. So didn't want to ruin it for anyone. Let's see. Oh, you now have quick save option. So Control plus S is quick save. Does not work inside combat. It does work outside. That's very, very useful, guys. So Control plus S, quick save. Let's see. Also, yeah, now the next patch is going to be working on multiplayer. This should hopefully include the LAN fix, so you can now join games by IP. So you type in someone's IP. That's if you're going to be using VPN, like virtual private networks, if you do not have access to your port, so you can't port forward, that sort of thing. But then there's also going to be some more lobby support, so people can have an easier time joining games. So I guess that fixes everything, includes everything about changing your, to the beta patches. And then the next video, guys, I'm going to talk a wee bit about the game editor, and then we'll go back to the original How to Play series and that and the game we've got going on over there.